guys, so a quick message before we get into this video. I'm sorry for taking so long to upload our video between classes, spring break, and also me not figuring out what to film, because I have ideas on what I want to film, but I don't know how to film them exactly, and so it's just kind of been a lot on my plate. Also, I end my semester at the end of April, so I'm trying to coordinate things on like where to put my stuff and yada yada yada, because I'm from Georgia, but I'm currently in Arizona for college. So yeah, thank you so much for your patience, and let's roll the intro. I want to talk about my journey in doll collecting in this video, because it kind of started out as me not even collecting dolls, as it was me just having one doll that I took everywhere with me and did everything with, and it wasn't even like a 12-inch doll, it was an American Girl doll. And I want to talk about how I went from that to collecting dolls and using them for photography and like hopefully some little mini movies in the future. You know, when I was in first grade, I became obsessed with one of my sister's American Girl dolls, Kit. She was the least played with out of all of them, and my sister didn't really care for her because she was in high school at this point, so she was in clubs and choir and volleyball, so she was just, her schedule was packed, and she's kind of grown out of it. So I sort of took over the role of being Kit's little caretaker, and it was the original Kit. I loved her. I loved her so much, and my parents took note of this, and for my 8th birthday, they got me a Rebecca American Girl doll, and I was in love. When I saw her face, I screamed, and I fell in love. If I had the video of me opening up that doll, I'd show you. I don't have it though, because it's on an old family computer that refuses to turn on. This is also in 2012, so it's a long time ago. Yeah, it was a decade ago, which is insane to think about that I'm dating that old. But I was ecstatic when I got Rebecca. When I wasn't in school, I took her everywhere with me. I took her to the park, I took her to the mall, and I just loved her so much. I played house with her, and I felt so happy to finally have an American Girl doll that I could call my own. So for the next year or so, I just sort of was immersed with Rebecca. Now I did sort of grow out of her by the time I was in 4th grade, but I sort of got back into it in 5th grade with my best friend at the time, who we'll be calling M for short. M and I, we loved American Girl dolls. She had 2 of her own, and I had Rebecca and Kit, and her and my other best friend at the time, we all would play with our dolls at our houses, and it was so much fun. And I remember my best friend and I, M, we started building little crafts for our dolls. And this is when she introduced me to my froggy stuff. A gate that would open a whole new world for me. It was amazing. Throughout 2015, for summer and my first semester of 6th grade, I was in love. I was knitting all sorts of little pillows and blankets for my American Girl doll, because M brought her knitting to school one day in 5th grade. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I want to teach myself how to knit. And so I did, and the first time I tried, I gave up, and I didn't pick it back up for 6 months. But of course, I picked it back up, and this is one of my little projects. It's a little throw for my doll. I love the colors on this yarn. It's so pretty, and this is like a stockinette stitch. Yeah, knitting to me is like riding a bike. Once you learn how to knit and you do it enough, you never forget the skill, even if you haven't done it for years and years and years. Yeah, so I was knitting things for my doll. I made pillows, blankets, purses. I made an eye mask for myself that completely failed because I was still sort of new to it. But it was really great, and my best friend also knit. And together we knitted stuff for our dolls, and we would often have play dates where we'd role play with our dolls. I'd have Kit and Rebecca. She would have Emily and Caroline. Those are the names of her dolls. And we would all just like hang out and make like little really bad stop motion films with our dolls. But it was really fun. When we started middle school, I was still more enamored with my American Girl doll and crafting and knitting than Em was. She's a very academically focused girl. She's very smart. And we still hung out a lot, but we were in middle school, things are changing, we were starting to discover who we were. And over Christmas break of 2015, my Meemaw came over and she gave me $20 for Christmas. And she's like, hey, I gotta go to Walmart. You want to come with me? I'm like, sure. So we go to Walmart and we go by the toy aisle. And this doll purchase is really what started my love for doll collecting. What I bought was the Venus McFlytrap Gloom and Bloom Monster High doll. And let me tell you, I loved her so much. I just like, I was like, oh my gosh, I have a Monster High doll, and it's crazy. I have my own Monster High doll, and my mom was a little weirded out by it, but like, you know what? The message of Monster High is to celebrate your freaky flaws. So, you know what? As someone who is kind of different from other people, I love that message. But yeah, so I got that doll and I was in love with it. My brother tried to take off one of her legs on the day we were supposed to go home, and I got really mad at him. I'm like, why did you try to rip off my doll's leg? He's like, oh, apparently you can take off their limbs. I'm like, yeah, but why did you do that without my permission? Why did you touch my doll? But yeah, it's fine. I was 12, he was 9, it's fine. Also on that break, on the 30th of December, I had a procedure to be able to have these BAHAs, which are basically an acronym for bone anchored hearing aids. And basically what they did was I went to the hospital, they put me under, and they put these metal screws in my head. And before you ask, no, they're not magnetic. I have tried many times when I was a kid to see if they were. Very stupid. I don't know what was wrong with me, but they are not magnetic. They also don't set off anything in the airport. So I just wanted to put that out there. But that was a big procedure for me, and I brought my Monster High doll with me. I had her right next to me. We both had little ponytails on, and I had my mom take a picture of us in bed together with her ponytail laid up on the pillow. It was really cute. And the surgeons let me carry her into the OR with me, and they put a little sticker on her doll stand, which ruined the doll stand, but it's fine. Like, I know some of these things sound pessimistic, but I laugh about it now because I think it's funny. That's kind of how I deal with stuff. Afterwards, I started collecting more dolls. I collected more Monster High dolls, and I remember getting my first Made to Move Barbie doll. And it was insane. I got the Yoga Made to Move Barbie doll, the blue top, when they first came out, and I was in love. It was so cool, and I named her Abby because she looked closest to me. My friend Em, she was still in the dolls, and so I showed her, I'm like, look at how cool this is. She's like, oh wow. And so like when I watched Monster High's Boo York, Em saw that I had the Claudine doll, and she's like, oh, I want one too. So one day we went with my mom to Target and we got her doll as well. It was so much fun. We started making little like video star music videos, and it was a lot of fun. This is sort of when we also really jumped into our first YouTube channel together. It was under my Google account, but we both shared the YouTube channel, and we would either upload together or we'd upload apart, and it was really fun. I remember this one time we did Elf on the not Elf on the Shelf. It was basically like this app where you put a picture of someone, and it has like these like dancing elves to a song. It's really weird, kind of funny, but we did that. It was really fun. And throughout middle school, it's just like I got Monster High dolls, I got more Barbie dolls, I got an Ever After High doll, Raven Queen. I resonated with her, partly because she wore purple. Also because I just sort of identified with her not wanting to follow in the traditional sense of like following your destiny, because she's said to be an evil queen. That wasn't my destiny, but I just I loved her character. Middle school, in terms of like doll collecting, it was really fun. And then I sort of fell off the wagon. What I mean by that is I just sort of lost interest in dolls, mainly because of my mental health. I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety. It's like 2 years apart of each other. And so I just lost interest in a lot of things that sort of made me happy. And I was also trying to force myself to grow up, like, oh, if I stop liking dolls, people will like me better. As a 14, 15-year-old girl, that's what I was thinking. I wanted people to really like me, and I was trying hard to push some of the questionable hobbies away from people. It is kind of sad to think about, just because, like, don't be ashamed of what you do. If you like collecting dolls or playing with Legos or video games or whatever, and you're not hurting anyone, then you shouldn't be ashamed. It is a little sad because I didn't want to play with them anymore. I had no interest in them. I forgot to mention that throughout middle school, I was also practicing doll photography. They weren't good photos. I was just doing it for fun. Abby was my main doll that I used for photography. I don't know if that's still her name or not, but yeah. So during 2021, and the first few months of it, I got into dolls again, and came home from school one day and I just saw my dolls sitting on this shelf, and when I picked one of them up, I felt happy again. It's the first time in a few years I genuinely felt happy about something, and so I let dolls back into my life, and I'm really happy. There's a fly on my window. There's a fly on my window. Okay. Anyway, oh, it's gone. Bye-bye. It brought me joy, and I was like, where have you been? Like, I know where you've been, but like, I just remember holding him for the first time, and it felt like when I got that Monster High doll, and it brought me so much joy, and I started, doing doll photography again, and like, watching Barbie videos again, because along with taking a hiatus from my dolls, I also stopped watching my Froggy stuff, which again, to try to like force myself to be something that I thought people would like more. I think a main part of like being a teenager is like trying to figure out who you are, and also trying to figure out like, oh, but what if this doesn't align with other people, and you're worried that you're gonna get bullied. It's really conflicting for a lot of people. Like my brother, he loves gaming, so he found one of his main interests and he loved it, and I wanted that. And when I got into dolls again, that became my thing. Throughout the next 2 years, I made that a staple part of my interest. Like in the family, I'm known as the girl who loves dolls, who loves Barbie stuff. If you're trying to figure out what to get me for my birthday or Christmas, it can either be mac and cheese or something Barbie / doll related. My 19th birthday, I got the Barbie Fashionista with hearing aids. I was like, oh my gosh, they have hearing aids. Like, when I found out that one of the Barbie Fashionistas that was coming out had hearing aids, I literally screamed and called my sister. I'm like, oh my gosh, they have a Barbie doll with hearing aids. And she's like, no way, that's so cool. I told my mom, I told my dad, and it was so ecstatic, and I got her for my birthday. She has a different body type than the other fashionistas. Like, it's not the original tall or petite or curvy. It's different. I'll have to show that to you this summer. I fully embraced that part of myself of loving dolls and like watching my Froggy Stuff videos and channels like Everything Dolls and Delightful Dolls, Everything Dolls, Delightful Dolls, Zombie X Corn. Yeah, so all these doll channels. It just makes me so happy to see all these. It brings me so much joy. During Christmas, I was sleeping and my sister woke me up at like 11:30 at night. And she's like, look, I got you something. I was like 90% asleep. And so I saw this Barbie thing with like movies. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I went back to sleep, and then the next morning I woke up. I'm like, wait, what is this? I look at it. It has the Barbie movies from like the early 2000s and then like the 2010s. And I was like, oh my gosh, Barbie Princess and the Poppers in here. Ah! And I was so happy. I went to her. I'm like, I thought this was a dream. And she's like, no, I actually got this for you. And it was so sweet. She found it at Walmart. So now I have the Barbie movies at home. I am going to watch them this summer because Barbie Princess and the Pauper is still my favorite Barbie movie to date. I will always love that movie. It has a special place in my heart. Now, a little bit before that, in September of 2022, I was like, you know what? I don't need dolls. I'm gonna leave my dolls at home. I'm a college girl now. I can do this. And then like 2 weeks into college, I realized I tried to do it. I'm like, Mom, I can't do this. I need a doll. I can't do this. And like dolls, there's some of them is sort of like my security blanket. And she got me the Barbie Looks doll, who I named Mira. She's in one of the Barbie Extra doll outfits, but she got me this, and it made things feel a lot easier for me because along with my anxiety, which I still do have, even though it's treated with medication, it's still nerve-wracking because it helps me to stay calm, you know. And I love the doll community. It's such an amazing, accepting community. So that was my little doll collecting story. I'm sorry for not uploading in a while. Again, things have just sort of been crazy for me. All my professors were like, okay, here are all your major projects. Get them done the week before spring break. And so I had like 3 papers due, I had like a project due, and I was just like, oh gosh, this is a nightmare, and I was really stressed out. Thank you so much for watching this. If you liked it, please smash that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, or this is your first time watching me, hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye!